Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rogue Sun podcast and welcome back to the Massiveverse. As you can see, we are super excited. It's been 3 months. We haven't gotten anything. And of course, because we've been on hiatus, well, for Rogue Sun at least. But now we're back and I'm your host, Bash, and I'm joined by my friends and my fellow hosts, Firefly, aka Ali, Radiant Matt, and Charlie. Guys, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Like you said, we're super excited to be back. Rogue Sun is back with issue 19 with another special issue. Excited to get into it. How about you guys? How are you doing?
Pretty good. Life's been lifing, but I'm excited to hear multiple perspectives on this issue that gave us multiple perspectives. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I was curious what we were going to get from this issue. Out of all that talk, Ryan was talking about how excited he was for this issue. But yeah, week's been a little crazy. It's Friday. We're doing good. Weekend's coming up. So yeah, no better time than to be talking about Rogue Sun, and just happy Massiveverse back. So yeah, let's get into it. How are you doing, Bash?
For those in the US with Memorial Day.
Oh yes, that's true. How are you doing, Bash?
Excited to talk Rogue Sun and the Massiveverse, of course, guys. It's been a minute. It's good to be back with the gents. And unfortunately, just some news. We did find out recently that Kyle Higgins has said that Rainy Black is getting yet another delay. So it's now coming out. It's slated for July 3rd. And the FOC, I believe it's June 10th for 29 and 29.5. I'm sure it's going to be well worth the wait. Kyle was recently saying, I hope it's going to be worth the wait. We've been putting a lot of work into this. And I'm sure it's going to be fantastic, but just want to give everyone an update. So next issue, July 3rd. Unfortunately, nothing really in June. Let me just check. Are we getting Rogue Sun 20? Yeah, so Rogue Sun 20, June 26th. And then we do still have Infernals, which isn't Massiveverse, but it is by some Massiveverse creators. So, yeah.
I was kind of disappointed about that news, but then I saw that Kyle and Matt Groom are doing Avengers Cross Ultraman. And now I'm like, it doesn't matter now. Like, it's like, that's amazing. Matt Groom's writing Spider-Man. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah. No, that's true.
I don't know about
you guys,
Yeah.
I was going to ask you guys about this. I kind of dove into it. Yes. The singularity.
Yeah.
Man.
Dude, I have the book on my shelf, but I haven't dug into it yet.
It's not worth reading, in my opinion, without listening to the music. Like, it has to be like a joint experience, because like otherwise, I feel like it loses some of the oomph. But like it's well written. I'm not saying it's bad or anything. I'm saying like I feel like it's meant to be like a joint experience.
Yes.
So,
I would agree.
Guys.
I would agree. Yeah, I just went through kind of the album a little bit before I dug into that, and it was really good. I really didn't know what to expect, but yeah, all those creators are awesome.
Bear McCreary does the music, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome. He's cool.
Yeah.
Dude, he got Serge Tankian to do one of the songs. Dude, there's so many people.
I'm sold.
So many people that he got that are like world class, like musicians who are doing like collaborating.
That's amazing.
Songs. Like the second song was Serge Tankian. I'm like straight up like, let's go, you know. But yeah, guys, and it's really well priced. Like it was 25 Canadian for this trade. It feels like for the talent that you're getting and everything, like it's amazing. It's like a nice like thick trade, you know. Typical. There's a spot gloss, really well made. The black market narrative, as you can see, their logo there, and you know, Bear McCreary. Like if you guys like, I'm not sure. Like I feel like most people are aware of him. Like obviously Kyle and those people in the industry really know. But these guys are like a big time like composer and stuff. This dude's done so much incredible work. So yeah, it's just so cool to see something like that.
Yeah, and I know for the big music heads there's a limited edition, the Singularity vinyl. It's on Made by Mutant. So I don't know how many are left, but the thing looks freaking sweet. So yeah, if you're a fan, definitely go pick that up. So yeah, no, it was exciting. Just kind of an extra additional thing that kind of just dropped in and was great. So yeah, it's awesome just getting this stuff by all these Massiveverse related creators.
Hell yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into the issue. So Rogue Sun number 19. Right here, I've got this share screen where we're going to look at some of these covers. So, of course, we talked about this before. I know many of you have asked me this question. You've asked us this question. You've asked the creators this question. And we have the answer finally, which is when are we going to get the Tom Whalen Rogue Sun helmet cover variant? Here it is. Ladies and gentlemen, Rogue Sun 19 variant. Make sure you pick it up. I guarantee that, like, because we're in issue 19, because there was a big hiatus between 18 and 19, these aren't going to be easy to find down the line. Like make sure you pre-order. Like a lot of stores aren't going to get like an open order variant for an indie unless they're a huge store or unless someone specifically requested it. So I'm pretty sure is it safe to say everyone here picked one up? Because I know I did.
I did. I didn't even pick up the main cover, actually. I just picked this one up. Yeah, unfortunately, I guess before we dive into it real quick, who picked up the physical? Who was able to get the physical this week? I know Ali did.
So I bought both, but I pre-ordered the physical covers of both, but like I pre-ordered them maybe 4 months ago. So like I like they're at an online store. I pre-ordered them through an online store. So I don't have them here with me. So I ended up buying the digital copy to read it. So I didn't have the full impact of like, I guess I just want to say the flip book still worked for me. I'm sure the intent was a little bit like there's probably more tactile feeling to it and a more of a hands-on approach when you get the physical book. But I think the digital, like I think they did good enough. It worked for me, and I'm still gonna read it physically. But yeah, I had to read it digitally.
Yeah.
I mean, the most interesting part about the physical is that it was hard for me to tell which way is right, because if you look at it, it's like upside down when you flip it, right?
So cool. Yeah.
That's just like real life, though. Sometimes.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was hoping for. That's what I was hoping for. Yeah. I want to be a little confused for a little bit before I open this thing, but no.
And this, I happened to read Marcus's side first.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I think for all digital readers, it was Dylan first. And yeah, like Bash said, I don't think it had quite maybe the same effect it could have had physically. But honestly, like just the way it was written with the two perspectives and stuff and needing all those different perspectives to make just one complete story, it like the way this story was written was damn near perfect. And in my opinion, I absolutely loved it.
I assume.
Oh, I just sorry, real quick. I just noticed something. Depending on which person.
Yeah, one of them has him like at the top.
Like this
the other
side,
one has
he's at the top. This is
how
Marcus' side, and then this is Dylan's side because he's at the
and
top.
do they correspond? Like when you open it, that's how it is.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So this is Marcus' side, and I'm not sure how well you could see, but this is Marcus' thoughts, and on the other side is Dylan's.
Interesting.
Yeah. So cover A right here by the incredible Kelly McMahon. Kelly's done quite like a bit of work right now in terms of like adjacent to Black Market narrative or even for them. She's done a Radiant Pink cover. She's doing a supermassive cover that we've shown in our previous streams, and she did this incredible Rogue Sun 19 cover. I would love to see more covers from Kelly in the future. Really love her style. She has such a whimsical
all those pins.
Style. Yeah, this is a very clever cover as well. Like Ali was just saying, like he pointed out, like this is very well made. It's like a card, like a double-edged card or like a Joker card or something. I don't know. I love it. Like a playing.
The supermassive cover is really nice of hers. That's probably my favorite I've seen from her. But like, and I love it. We have in the Discord. I don't know whose idea it was to put it up there in the corner. It looks so nice.
I put it there.
Yeah, good call.
I love the cover. I agree. Yeah, I can't wait to pick that up. It would look great as a poster as well. The supermassive cover. Like, it would be a really nice art print poster. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So shout out Kelly McMahon. Hopefully honestly, I wouldn't even mind her doing like a backup in either Rogue Sun or like a Marshall School of Business, like backup, like her drawing the artwork. It'd be really cool, different. Yeah, like just a cool departure from like the more conventional styles we've seen, I guess. So would love that. But yeah, fantastic work. I had to pick up both covers. Honestly, I couldn't go with just one. And it's rare to see like this. Maybe is it safe to say it's like a purplish blue, Ali? Because you have the physical copy, the background color of the cover.
Yeah, it's not quite purple, and I wouldn't call it blue either. It's kind of like somewhere in between.
Yeah, I like that color because it's like I feel like it's a color you don't see often in a cover background. So I thought that was a really unique aesthetic. It just presents beautifully. So fantastic work. Yeah,
the orange really stands out in that color too. Mm-hmm. I know it really looks good.
So yeah, let's talk about the creators. We've got Ryan Parrott teaming up with Nick Cotton once again to give you this special issue. If you remember, Ryan Parrott and Nick Cotton first teamed up on Rogue Sun for the issue 7, which is the Choose Your Own Adventure issue. So it's really nice to see Nick Cotton coming back. And Ryan said, I think on social media and on the Discord, that Nick is a really good friend and he really enjoys working with him. So love to hear that, love to see it. Next, we've got Marco Renna doing the art. I got to say, I didn't really notice until I like really thought about it, and I was like, man, like Abel wasn't even here today. Like Marco did everything. Like this is the first Rogue Sun issue. I think Abel's, maybe I'm wrong about this. Like someone can check this in the future, but I think Abel's always been involved somehow, because even if he wasn't doing interiors, which I don't think he ever has not done like interiors at all, I think he's always done half or the whole thing. He always does the covers. So this is the first issue of Rogue Sun. Like Abel's just not
You're right.
involved at all, right? Like he's not involved at all. So maybe he's really cooking up something good, or maybe he's working on another project. Yeah. I'm very excited either way. But you guys noticed that?
No, I actually didn't. Just going through the covers now. Yeah, this is definitely the first time, like on the front cover, it's the only time it doesn't say Abel on the front cover out of all the covers. So yeah, I think you're right about that. That's kind of crazy, and I think that just like says how good Marco Renna is doing, because like he just comes in here and he just kills it every time, just so seamlessly. And yeah, it's kind of he's a mainstay at this point for sure.
Oh yeah. Big fan of Marco right now. Honestly, we're so lucky. We like as fans of the Massiveverse, we have all these incredible artists, and it feels like every single book has at least 2 incredible artists working on it at any given point, or working as a team, or just like interchangeably. So we're blessed. Yeah, Marco Renna is amazing. You know, like people who like Power Rangers, I'm sure already love him. So, you know, there's some Power Rangers references, or some tie-ins I've heard, not tie-ins, sorry, like references to other things that have happened, Power Rangers or MMPR or whatever it is that Ryan's written. I still haven't read all of it. But yeah, that was really cool. Colorist, of course, Natalia Marquez. We love Natalia. She's done such a great job coloring this book. And we've talked about how each book really feels unique. And I think she's a big part of that, of like giving this book the gritty feeling of that, like a supernatural, almost like a Buffy like landscape to it, where it's always right? Like it feels like Buffy a lot, like where it's like a darker neighborhood. There's certain colors that shine, but there's a lot of like cemetery-esque aesthetics, which makes sense for what we're dealing with here. Like think of like Dottie's the jewelry shop and everything. So yeah, Massiveverse letterer extraordinaire Becca Carey, covers by of course Kelly McMahon and Tom Whalen, production artist Wesley Griffith, phonographics on logo design, and the master himself, editor and designer Michael Basuto, and Rogue Sun, of course, created by Ryan Parrott and Abel. So let's dive into it. This is the first page, guys. So the Rogue Sun, first of all, how good was it? Just immediately, like before even reading, just to see those heroes again. Just like I feel like it's been so long. Dylan was stuck in the damn Sunstone, and it's like we finally see him out there, and it feels like forever, eh?
No, for sure. It's this too. Like it's nice seeing Marcus out here. Really, just kind of brought back to the roots of this story. Like just those first couple of times we've seen these two interact and stuff, and it's always awesome seeing this dynamic.
It's like this is what made us fall in love with the book in the first place, right? That first arc with him and kind of co-pilot, guiding him around. So it's nice to kind of see the second coming, or the evolution of this with time now.
Yeah, and for me, like it was weird seeing the double story right back and forth. Like it was well done. Maybe not my favorite of the gimmick issues. Like I still really enjoyed it, but I don't know. I feel like this wasn't the best issue of Rogue Sun. If I'm gonna I don't know if that's a hot take. Like I really enjoyed it. The not best issue of Rogue Sun is better than like 90% of comics in my opinion.
That is fair. Did you read it digitally? Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no, I did
as well.
Okay. I assume that Dylan is supposed to be the first one, right? Just because the way the story is, you get Alienator's background later on. Yeah, but you could read it other way. I didn't consider reading Marcus's part first because I didn't have the physical issue, so that's really interesting. I do love when they take these swings, and it was cool, and it was an interesting way to give us more backstory on Alienator.
I think it works either way. Because correct me if I'm wrong, if you read Dylan's part first, you don't get Alienator's background.
No.
Yeah.
But you understand that he's trying to change or repent or whatever.
So and then you don't get that, and you don't get that in Marcus's story.
Right. That time you get his background. So definitely, I feel like since I was the only one who read it with Marcus first, you definitely get a different feel for how the story goes depending on which side you read first. So I'll be curious if anyone listening or watching, which one have you read first and how that kind of changed your reading experience.
We'll do a poll. We'll do a poll on the community
as
well.
That.
So I'm very curious to see, like, that's actually a really good question to put out there. Like we'll see who read what. I feel like maybe it's just me, but I feel like most people will have voted Dylan, but I'm actually very curious to see if it's like balance or more for Marcus. That would be really cool.
And talking about this, Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, talking about this whole thing kind of gave me Radiant Black vibes. I don't know about you guys, and now not just the alternate realities, but just the two different stories needing that for kind of the full story, and
it's
even
also
how
like
we're
the
talking about
co-pilot
it
thing,
here.
right?
Yes.
Like having a co-pilot or having like and what's the word, like someone who's with you on these encounters, like the Frodo Sam dynamic. I guess they're more friends, but like the journey where you have a co-pilot. Yeah, so it's like he has a co-pilot, and it's like. Maybe Marshall or Nathan, depending on who it is, on which issue it's focusing on, doesn't linger around as much as like Marcus does, but they do have that dynamic where it's like you're kind of also relying on someone else to help you. So let's dive into it. First page, we see like we're just to clarify, we are going through the Dylan point of view first. So these are Dylan's thoughts in the thought captions. We're in New Orleans. We're back with our two main heroes. This time, of course, Dylan is in the driver's seat, aka in the Rogue Sun armor, and Marcus is acting as his companion, aka his instructor, his mentor, his father. And they're talking about music. He's like, this koala scare me. And I think there's a whole thing there. We haven't looked into it, but Ryan was talking about it on his Twitter and on the Discord about how koalas scare me. I think he's referenced it before in Power Rangers, and there's a whole thing there. Do you know of it? Did you read it?
Yeah, I looked at the tweet. He posted a link of a band that he's like, if anyone's wondering what Koala Scare Me sounds like, it's this band here. And maybe we'll link in the show notes, but just go check Ryan on Twitter, aka X, and also known as X, only like one person. But I love that we brought back Koala Scare Me again for this issue. It's such a nice little cool in-universe band. I love it when universes get their own little franchises, where it'd be like the Big Belly Burger or whatever, the Flash or like whatever.
Yeah. I agree with you.
It's great, and seeing it's so funny just seeing there are two different reactions to this. Like it's so perfect, and I think it was before the show Bash was talking about this, just how well he nailed Dylan's just like thoughts of him just being a teenager. Like he kind of like Ryan always obviously nails the dialogue and stuff, but just the way it showed him thinking about some of these things was very spot on, and I definitely agree with that. Definitely.
Yeah. I think he's done it well in the past, so it's not a criticism of that, but I think it's more of a giving him the service and the compliments he deserves, giving him flowers for this issue, because I think he really nailed like how a teenager thinks. Maybe it's the juxtaposition that really allows us to appreciate him more. But like I said, I read Dylan's side first, and I kept thinking like, my God, like the demeanor, he's like nailed it down like to a dot. Like it's perfect. Like that's how a teenager acts, especially someone like Dylan, and his replies. And one thing I was talking with Charlie backstage about that I really loved, that I thought was masterful, and I'm curious whose idea it was, whether it was like Becca's idea or whether it was instructed through the script. I bet it was Becca's idea, just because she's such a good letterer. But when he's thinking and he's not paying attention to what Marcus is saying, his thought bubbles like go over Marcus's like speech bubbles. So it's like it's like a perfect device to like, you can almost like see it, like he's literally thinking. He's daydreaming, he's dozing off, and he's not listening to a word Marcus is saying. And I thought this is so good because even as the reader, you can't see what Marcus is saying.
Yeah,
so
I love how they didn't completely obscure it though. They still left you with like words here and there.
It pissed me off. I was like, just tell me, man. And then going through it again and actually learning that time, you definitely need to read both, and it really just all comes together.
I love his like his name's Carl, whatever. Like
Carl.
What is it? Carl Walters? Like that's gotta be like Carl Weathers, right? It's gotta be
Carl Walters. Carl Walters, I think. Carl Walters.
Definitely Carl Weathers inspired, because Predator, Carl Weathers in the first Predator movie.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, and it was cool. I really like the design, and his backstory did not disappoint. Does this count as his origin issue, Bash?
I'd say like low key,
So,
like
no?
we do get like a decent chunk of why his motivations are what his motivations
we just don't see
are,
it.
why he did what he did. We don't exactly, but I would say like we get most of his origin in this issue. We even find out like what his intentions are moving forward. So, but I do want to say like this whole back and forth on this first page, like with the music and how like Dylan's like whatever, like he tells him like, oh, like you'd like Depeche Mode or Deepak Mode. I don't know how you pronounce
Depeche
that.
Mode. Yeah.
Depeche Mode, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I totally love her." I was just like, dude, like that's such a teenage, like that's such teenagers. And then he says the thought caption for doing this: "Old people think water was wetter in their day," and I'm like, dude, like this is a teenage. This is like a pure exactly. It's nailed it, and he nailed the tone. And this is the first page, so it gets you, it really gets you like to appreciate that.
Yeah, we've tapped into that dynamic that you see in like the God of War reboot series, which is like so powerful, as well as like even Invincible of like, yeah, how do you raise a child, right? It's like you want them to be prepared for the world, but you want to show them that they're loved as well, but you don't want them to be destroyed by what they're facing. And this is, when you bring superpowers into it, it's exaggerated even more and more intense. So it's a really good hook, and you've got some great characters around it. That's part of the secret sauce as to why the series is just, such a home run.
Yeah, definitely. And in the second page they get to this like abandoned place, and this is where Marcus is telling him Alienator likes to camp out like in his victims' places. So this like weird house that's barely held together.
I totally pictured Finnegan Root living here or something, like someone like that. Like
it's like dealing drugs.
It's on a swamp. No, it's on a swamp. Like who's living on a swamp? Like it doesn't even have any like I don't know walkways to it. It's literally right in the middle of the water. It looks like.
Maybe he used to. Maybe moved in with his fiance. We know he's getting married soon, so who knows?
Hey, there we go. He's got a couple of renovations to do, but he's getting there.
Couple.
The alligators are cool too.
I went to grab the other cover, and I think it is intended to read Dylan's side first, because this one, like the back is normal, right? It doesn't have the dual cover. So if you open a regular book, you read Dylan's first.
Is this the least amount of characters in a Rogue Sun issue? There's just 3.
Oh yeah, might be.
Yeah,
oh, God, yeah.
I think so. You're right. That's a good point. Yeah.
I would
just
it's
more Morningstar like cameos, right? With the speech bubble.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna count that. Yeah. Three like on the panels. So like that's actually a good point. Yeah, we didn't really recognize. There's some like cops here and there, like when he's terrorizing them at some point. But yeah, like in terms of like main characters, I think it's just 3 the whole issue.
I'm fine with those more intimate issues to just get us back to basics, because he hasn't had Marcus around for a while, right? So I think it was good to reestablish where we're at and kind of see where they've changed, see where they're still butting heads and still kind of the same, and where they're at an impasse.
Yeah, and this is what we were talking about right here, like the Dylan's thought bubble is almost interrupting Marcus's. So as a reader, you're just like, what is he trying to say? And it's really annoying in like the next page, because he's telling him like, not only is he telling him like the origin of Alienator, like of at least his experience with Alienator, like why he thinks Alienator does what he does based on his information. He's telling him like how to beat Alienator, and Dylan's just sitting there like thinking like about some random shit, like any teenager of course does. So, but I think he has a conscience. Like, I'm surprised by how mature some of his thoughts are for someone, who's his age. Like, yeah, there's immaturity in them. There's inexperience. But, like, he's thinking about, like, like he's saying, I don't really want Marcus here, but I need him to, like, advise me or something. He does know more about the bad guys, maybe a little. I think he's, like, slowly, reluctantly warming up to him.
That's the weird thing is, like, he seems like he doesn't, like Marcus said, listen to me. And he said, no, screw you. I'm not going to listen to you. But it seems like he wants to show Marcus that he can do these things on his own. And he kind of wants him there. But yeah, he still is not fully willing to get the help from Marcus that he wants. And and Marcus, he's evolved too. Like he's starting to be, he wasn't like this the first couple times. Like he was a little more harsh on Dylan. Like all he wants to do in this issue is really help Dylan. That's all he really wants to do. And Dylan doesn't quite listen to his message, but yeah, no, it was very good.
It's still a radical change. This is the most Dylan's had his dad in his life, his entire life. After his dad died, ironically, is when he gets to be with his dad the most. So, he's got all these hardened beliefs. You're a teenager. You're a little, stubborn in your ways and stuff like that. So you have to kind of, it's hard. And you don't trust your dad. You're almost fully formed, and your dad's coming in giving you this advice after you're like, you weren't even here to tell me this. So it's just tough. And he knows his dad, at least he's giving his dad credit, as you mentioned earlier, about, hey, the superhero stuff, you have the knowledge that is really useful. Because I was thinking as this issue went on, the Hellbent arc would not have happened the way it did if Marcus was there, right? So I think that's really interesting.
Agreed.
Yeah. And he says, like, I'm not going to bother telling you all of this if you're not listening. And then that in his thought bubble, he says, well, if it didn't come with a side of condescension, but he says, nope, you're right. Just got a little distracted. Sorry. Okay, I'm ready. Tell me very. And then, but like, at that, so like there is like somewhat him almost like it is reluctant, but he's slowly starting to appreciate his dad a little bit more, even though he's definitely frustrated with him and he wants to prove himself. And then we get the bat signal. No, I'm just kidding. The rogue signal going off, right? The flames are stoking there, and you can see, which I thought was really, really cool, by the way. What you guys think of that?
Just real quick, and the page where he says, no, you're right. I'm a little distracted when he wasn't listening. In Marcus's thought bubble, he says, "Is he on drugs or does he need drugs?"
I love that.
That was iconic, dude. That was iconic, man. Is he on drugs or does he need drugs?
That's an all-timer.
All-timer right there. I honestly, like, I shit you not, I debated making that the title of this episode, but I was like, I don't want to kill the the punchline. But
plus the algorithm would just like obliterate us too.
Yeah.
I go to extents to make sure the algorithms like chill with us, but anyways,
you can see.
But no, I thought it was really interesting the way they did that, and it was cool to see the flip story. I do like the way that they transitioned from story to story with the reflection in the water. I thought that was clever.
Yes. No, that's very true. Clever. And correct me if I'm wrong, but before I think we've seen kind of that signal, but just from the rock, right? Like the rock was glowing, and then he's like, "Oh shit! Like I need to go save the day." Like I think this happened like really earlier in the series. Like I think it kind of was the same thing, but I think this is the first time we've seen this sort of signal from him.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And then he's like, I love where he's like, "See, who needs all this detective stuff?" And he's just giving his dad the thumbs up. Like, that's right. Just thumbs up. Whatever you're saying, it's correct. Like, it's just a pure, like, I don't care what you're saying. I got to go now. I love that. And then we get the next page, which is down by Michoud Boulevard, exit 248. We see him in his full glory. Alienator. Gotta say, awesome page, dude. I was like, you know what? Like, Matt's a fan of wrestling, and he's gonna look at this page and he's gonna be like, dude, this man's fucking chucking people like up. Look at that. He like chucks the dude. He chucks the come out. Like, he doesn't even know where that guy's gonna land, bro. That guy's gonna splat somewhere. He's gone, bro. That's it. Like, he's over. You know what I'm saying?
It was really dope, and the way they explained the backstory, like he's kind of an innocent character, right? Like he lost his family. I mean, we'll talk about it more in the Marcus era, but yeah, his design, I'm getting used to it. It kind of reminds me of King from Tekken, like with a tiger mask and stuff. But yeah, but no, Alienator didn't disappoint. It's cool that he's the right hand of Morningstar. I feel like that's a really cool touch that elevates him among what we've seen before.
Yeah, he's kind of he was the battle dog, I guess. He's pretty much Morningstar's battle dog. He kind of reminded me almost like Conquest to Thrag in a way, or just like something like that. But no, I want to ask you guys this. Like, I know we're gonna be doing the Rogue Sun tier list and stuff, but just this first kind of introduction, where does he rank in your villains? Like, is he right up the top? Is he kind of just in the middle? Where is Alienator for you guys after this issue?
I think for me, he's kind of in the middle now.
Yeah, he's in the middle, but he's moving up. You know what I'm saying?
Moving up. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. To me, he jumped like freaking. He jumped up a bunch of steps right now. But no, it was super cool seeing kind of we kind of thought like his design was a little bit kind of Battle Beast-ish. There's a cool funny things that they added in this that kind of also made him a little Battle Beast-esque, which was pretty funny. But no, still it's always cool just having kind of a huge just bully character like this. You know, it's.
If Dylan was listening, he would have seen that ability coming, because I know what you're talking about. If he was listening.
Oh, yeah. For me, Alienator is like low A. There's definitely potential to rise, but we just saw the backstory, and I feel like there's a lot going forward with Alienator. And like, what's under the mask? Because there's a human face. I assume not. I want to see what happens when that cracks. Like,
we do know he was a real person. Like he got in 2003. That's when Marcus met him in the Bahamas for the first time, and they said like his family got it. We didn't really get too into it, but we do know it is a male person. So yeah, that makes me really curious too. If Marcus and him have any prior backstory to this. How old is this guy? Like, do these powers let you live forever?
He said he met him in 2003.
He met him in 2003. So yeah.
That's interesting. If we see an issue with Marcus in 2003 and it says Barbados, like we know shit's going down. I think that'd be cool.
I would love that. And honestly, yeah, I could see that. Even if it's just a scene or something, I do think that's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, I know I know Ryan worked at Bad Robot for a while, and they made Lost, and there's a lot of Lost that's telling and not showing so much. But I wouldn't mind seeing like a few things that have been referenced in the series, like actually play out like on the pages. But I'm cool with either if we just get more stuff in the present that's as badass.
Yeah. Yeah, so I know we're not going to be going into the Marcus issue that much, but I love, so yeah, this issue, he's kind of just like this whole page, he's just kind of complaining about how negative his dad is and all that, like what he does. And in Marcus's side, he's straight up just planning what, like the tactics, what he can do, kind of, he's just kind of thinking this thing out, how he can help Dylan at this point. And Dylan's he's just kind of thinking about his dad at this point. And the surprise for this, like, just he doesn't listen to his dad at all, like you guys said, and just goes right in there at Mr. Hellhound. That was kind of interesting. What did you guys think of the nickname?
Fun. I enjoyed him making fun of it. I did see some people in the Discord saying like they preferred that name for Alienator. I respectfully disagree. I think Alienator is the better name.
Definitely.
I think Hellhound is pretty like basic.
It's generic.
Like, it's not basic. Yeah, generic.
It's like a dog's name, right? Like that's what you would name the three-headed dog, right?
To be honest, like realistically, how good of a name is Battle Beast?
Even Predator,
is that a good name? Like, just thinking about it, or is his actions? Does that make him?
I think it's both. Like, the name is generic, but it adds kind of to the, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like Predator. Like, Predator is a very generic name, but it's like
I think it works for that. It works.
Well,
that's generic.
It works
almost.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's our human label, though. You know, right?
Yep.
If they're the yacht jaw, we just grossly gave them that label because they came to kill us all those times. I do think Bingo has a ring to it, but yeah. We're probably going to get a Cerebus at some point, right? I imagine we're going to get an actual Hellhound, maybe like a 3-headed dog, or even if we don't.
Yes,
I feel like,
oh yeah,
even if we don't, I don't really care. But like Hellhound's okay; it's a little generic. We already have Hellbent.
It would be cool if like that's what was protecting like the room before you get to like Morningstar.
Oh,
just, big ass like Hellhound there, and Dylan has to like fight it.
Yeah, and is Morningstar actually like a demon? Is he from hell? Like, is it actually a Hellhound of his mercenary? I don't know. We don't really know enough about Morningstar. We know he's evil, but maybe not hell related. We got a devil mentioned in this issue, so who knows? Maybe Morningstar is the devil. I don't know.
Yeah. But I like what Dylan says here. Like, you appreciate it more when he gives you his point of view, where he's like, I swear I could save a truck full of pregnant nuns and orphans from a burning building, and all you would read is where was Rogue Sun, where that jaywalker slipped on the ice. And he says, I'm not an alien. I don't work for the government. I'm just a kid sacrificing his grades and any chance at ever having a girlfriend to save a few lives. Look, I think the first part is him trying to make us feel bad for him, like that, like sacrificing his grades. Like, Dylan, you don't give a fuck about your grades, bro. Don't okay? But like the girlfriend, that's what he cares about. Like he's like, dude, I want to be up in there with what's her name, with Vanessa, right? It's Vanessa.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to be up in there with Vanessa, like flying her around, looking at the sunset. And he's like, here. Then he's like, but right, I'm the asshole. So I thought, like, not only is it tonally, like we said, he's really talking like a teenager, but he's also rationalizing it like a teenager, and I really appreciate that from Ryan Barrett.
Yeah.
Man.
That's a good point with the grades. You know damn well. Like he's like, oh man, I got my ass kicked today. At least school doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, he's like, now I have a reason not to give a shit about that because I really ever did, right? Like, it's like, come on, man. Yeah, like I feel like if Nathan said that, I'd be like, yeah, Nathan actually cares. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, if it's like Dylan, it's like, nah, you don't really care.
But now Radiant Black's at the point they can at least maybe make income from the post office, right? Like this guy's still he needs some income from something.
Also, let's be real. I'm surprised he hasn't flown in someplace like Tony Stark and Iron Man 2 and just like done a whole show off like, yeah, whatever. I'm Iron Man.
Exactly.
I'm that cool, like drinking. I'm surprised he hasn't thrown a house party.
That's low key though. That's what he's doing right here, right now, right? Like his dad's like telling him what to do, giving him like the instructions, the experience, telling him like this is what will hurt him. This is how you want to like. Don't be like reckless. Block that attack. And Dylan's just like, sometimes I wonder what I'm getting out of all this. I'm like, bro, this is like pure teenage, like hedonistic thoughts, right? Like this dude doesn't care about like anyone. And he's like, then I remember there's this, which is like, that's another thing. Like he gets to kick people's ass.
He likes it. He likes to fight.
Yeah. But like here, I really like what he's thinking. He's like, what's a good nickname for him? It's got to be something snarkier than Hellhound. He's like, Metal Mutt Bingo. It's like this dude sitting there thinking about nickname. It's like there's almost like kind of Peter Parker-ish there in terms of like make cracking jokes.
Yeah. Oh, very Peter Parker in this. There's a lot of quips going on for sure this issue.
Yeah. And this next page really surprised me. Really surprised me. I don't know about you guys, but just Alienator not wanting to, like, actually in full denial of his role, like not wanting this at all. I love that. I absolutely loved it. And we kind of got the flip side here where actually Dylan's listening to all this dialogue, whereas Marcus is completely just shutting out all of Alienator's reasonings, which is awesome because we've known Marcus. Obviously, he's been through lots. He's been through more. He has lots more experience. He's fought this guy, pretty sure a couple times. So
Yeah.
you would think he would have the experience to say so, but it's just kind of cool the flip of perspectives there.
Yeah, I agree. And I love how, like, when they're fighting, he's just like, okay, Dylan, you need to get up. He's like, dude, I don't even know where up is right now. He's just like, this dude's getting his ass whooped. But I do like that even his dad, like, in the perspective of his dad, he's like, oh, okay, he knows how to take a punch, even though he's getting his ass whooped. But like, yeah, I do agree with the nuance. Like, Alienator, it was really interesting seeing a character who, like, most of the characters we've seen so far, they know they're in a position where they're kind of being messed with and manipulated by Morningstar, but they don't have remorse. Most of them end up just like doubling down on what they did. Yeah. This is the first time we've seen someone who truly like regrets it, at least based on what they're saying and their actions in this issue. So that was really interesting. Yeah. I like that.
We haven't even really seen the mom act like that, really. We haven't even really seen the mom like act
you're right.
with any real remorse or anything. Maybe she doesn't know, but yeah, no, that makes me cool. I'm cheering for him. I want him to kind of pull a Mr. It did give me a lot of Mr. Sinister vibes from New X-Men, obviously, just the way Morningstar is controlling him and getting him to do his own thing. But no, it was so good here, and yeah, unexpected for me.
On the note of whether we believe that he really wanted to get out of Morningstar's control, I believe that like he doesn't want to continue killing maybe for Morningstar, but that lust for blood is probably still out there. Even if he gets out of control, maybe he'll want to still have his lust for violence or his ability for violence meet whatever. I forget the way it was written, but it was clever. I don't know. Maybe I feel like if Morningstar's control wasn't a factor, he still wouldn't be like a good guy, right? Because like, what are you gonna do? I don't know if he's gonna get like a regular job, and he's still like probably messed up from losing your family and stuff like that. What do you do as an alienator in this world?
That is very true. I could see him he's just gonna. Yeah, I could see him just living somewhere peaceful, renting, buying himself a nice cottage, just being out and peaceful. It seems to me really like he doesn't want anything to do with anyone, but he does say, "I don't want to hurt anyone, but I will if it gains me my freedom." So yeah, he did. Yeah, no,
he just really wants to get away from Morningstar's control.
Yeah. Which exactly makes sense. It's on the next page. Morningstar intervenes and begins to, which I want to say, like using this green highlight like around the body of Morningstar. That's a very simple yet effective technique, I think. So I thought that was brilliant. Yeah. It saves you a lot of effort and time, but it gets the job done. It looks great. I thought that was really cool. And the green, of course, alluding to Morningstar because we've seen he's a green fiery bastard, right? Kind of looks like green Kale. Like, Kale from League of Legends? He looks like a green version of Kale. Yeah, like, so that
sounds really healthy.
Cool. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I knew you were going to be that. I swear to God, I knew. That's why I was like, should I say Kale? Should I say like lettuce or some shit? But yeah, that was great. I love the red, the lettering for the red speech bubbles. Like, that's Morningstar, like almost, interfering. So I thought this was really cool, and it kind of makes you empathize with Alienator more because you're like, maybe there are like obviously they made a choice, but at this point they're also kind of a victim. So
there are people with regrets. Even Hunter's dad, right, or like Hellbent's dad is like, I wanted you out of this life. I know this isn't the right way to do things. I want to give you something better. So there are some, like a couple instances, but Alienator is the most direct. I want out of here.
Yeah. Which I think was cool. And Marcus, like, he's not listening to it at all, but he makes the best point here, which is like just very facts. Although he wants to get out, he made a deal with the devil, and devil always collects. So that was kind of makes sense.
Interesting hearing about the devil after in a post-Infernals world.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
This next issue, this next page, we get a really cool reveal, something that Dylan unfortunately didn't see coming because he was too busy dozing off, thinking about other shit, talking shit about his dad. But in this next page, friggin' Alienator hits him with the mouth breathing fire, man. I was like, dude, I thought this was so cool. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm like, I can't tell if it's like his power or if it's the mask. Either way, it's dope. Like either way, it's super cool. I don't care. It's so awesome. Yeah.
Alienator use fire blast like a Pokemon.
Anyways,
what was that, Ellie?
I love how he said I'm permanently on fire. That was odd because I was like, when I first saw that, I was like, would that even hurt him? Can he like just redirect the fire? But no, like it kind of does hurt still.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Dylan pulls off that sweet little dodge too, which even his dad gave him kudos for later on. So I thought that was cool, showing that like, hey, you know, all these some rogue sons can pull out swords, but Dylan's actually kind of good at this, and if you give him more time, who knows what new stuff he can pull off as rogue son.
And I think that was my favorite part of the issue. Those next few pages when Marcus is like, oh, he's doing it wrong, and then slowly he's realizing, oh wait, maybe he does know what to do, and then he starts like being almost in awe of how Dylan's moving and fighting, right?
Yeah, because he's telling him like, look, you can beat him, you just have to listen to me. At the same time, he's like, take advantage of the fact that Alienator is conflicted within, like he doesn't want to fight you. Morning starts pushing him, like take advantage of this moment. And then that's when Dylan's like, no, and I'm not going to show you guys every single page. Of course, we talked about this before. We do want to save some things. So Dylan pulls out some really cool moves. Like Matt said, he does this crazy mid-air dodge, like thrust. He manages to give the guy an elbow to the back of the neck. He gives him a huge punch to the rib. And then he ends it with the knee to the face right there. Love the look of Alienator's face right there, just eating pure like a knee, you know, just a knee, right? A big knee sandwich right there. And I thought it made me empathize with Alienator a little bit more. Those bottom 3 panels here where he's just like, kill me, you have to. I won't go back in, and I'm not safe out here. Please kill me. And even like, I think this does a really good job, even without doing the whole like narrative device, the juxtaposition here and the responses between Dylan and Marcus, where Marcus is like, yeah, dude, just do it. Like, you know, like he's asking for it.
Yeah.
And Dylan's just like, man, like even if you'd rather die, like you want me to do that? And it's just like, I thought that was brutal, but interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
And then you can see how different they are still. Like in the next few pages when, you know, he's locked up, Dottie got him or whatever. And Marcus says, "Oh, I'm sure that'll fix everything." But Dylan actually feels sorry for him. You know, he's like he said, he's scared every time he said every time he puts on the suit, he's scared he'll have to make like tough choices, whether to have to kill somebody or not. And I mean, I don't really blame him. He's young. He's still, like you said, a teenager. He's immature. That's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah, and we end on a really interesting note because they appear to be bonding more, but when you're reading his thought bubbles, he says, this is going to be a lot harder than I thought. I'm sorry, Dad. I don't know. I know you don't want me to do this, but if you learn the truth about why I have to take on Morningstar, and then he says, you're never going to forgive me.
They both say it. They both say the exact same thing.
Which that was the next point. So yeah, you see the other side, and just to give you guys an example of what that looked like, right? Here's the other side of the story of the flipbook, where we're looking at it through the perspective of Marcus, and Marcus here is talking. And unlike in the Dylan side, his thought bubbles are not interrupting the speech. So here you can see the origin, right? You see, he says he devoured people who were his family, tore them limb from limb, hunted down their families, their friends, and any witnesses. The more he killed, the more he craved. He eventually developed a taste for it. He's Morningstar's attack dog, an armor-plated, fire-breathing nightmare. So there, if Dylan was listening, he would have had the advantage because he would have known that he breathes fire. So that gives you guys an example of what the differences is. And here's another page. You can see, there's the iconic thing. You can see the thought bubbles, and he says, is he on drugs or does he need drugs? He's like, the call, we're saved. Is he on drugs or does he need drugs? And I just like the way like he's like he looks on that panel. I thought that was
iconic.
So funny. Iconic, yeah, actually iconic, yeah. But yeah, there's the infamous thumbs up that we were talking about, you know. So I thought this was interesting. This is another reason I highlighted this page. Marcus said Dad's training methods are starting to make more sense now, and I was like, man, that's brutal. Like when you're starting to relate to a person that you hate that made you miserable, and you're just like, oh yeah, now I understand why they did that. And it's just like, man. Ouch.
Yeah, that's brutal. And he hates his dad. Like not hates him, but it's no love lost there. So that's kind of interesting how, you know, being a parent, you kind of think about what your parent had to go through and decisions they made. You think about it differently.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah,
but yeah, Marcus Marcus's ending too here, like that was brutal too. Like,
Yes.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, if you want to go that
I don't have
deep.
the image, but we can talk about
Okay.
it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just kind of the flip side where Dylan's trying to keep this secret. He says it's going to be hard. Like he knows this reason he has to go after Morningstar. He doesn't want to tell his dad, and then kind of juxtapose in Marcus's issue. He says, kind of at the end, he's thinking, and he says, "I'm sorry, kid, but I'm gonna have to stop your little quest because if you learn the truth about Morningstar and Rogue Sun, you're never gonna forgive me." So that's kind of a little different too. Just showing they both have secrets, but they're not telling each other. It's kind of one of those things that are very frustrating. But yeah, I'm curious. What's up, Ali?
This might be a stupid question, but do we know any of this? We don't, right?
No, we don't.
No, I don't
All
think
we
so.
know is that they have different intentions with Morningstar. Each of them has different
right,
goals.
but we don't know what the secret is.
I was wondering if it was something that he learned recently, like in this issue or the last issue. I'm curious, like when we learn what that is, has he known this all along? Did he just kind of learn this kind of what's going on? But yeah,
maybe
I don't know.
My guess is Rogue Sun is the first person to take power from Morningstar and not be under their control.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Or like break through his control. That's my guess.
That's a banger. I can see that.
Rogue Sun have to be like,
okay.
Or maybe even Marcus is like in depth to Morningstar. Like maybe Marcus can hear Morningstar too, and they're trying to. But maybe like Dylan can't hear it, or other Rogue Suns can't hear it because maybe they didn't make a deal. But I do agree that it's gonna be like the reveal will be like Rogue Sun is one of the the.
It's kind of like the scarab reveal, or even the radiant reveal. I'm thinking it's going to be kind of along those lines, where it was sent here for bad intentions. The Sunstone was created for bad intentions, but someone better was able to overcome it and kind of. But yeah, that makes me wonder, why would Marcus want to stop him on this quest? So many questions, but honestly, did not expect like this fallout to happen already from Marcus and Dylan. So it's super interesting.
Maybe he has a hero complex, because the way he justifies it, he's saying like, oh, like, you're not good enough to like wield the stone because you don't understand the responsibility. I don't think you're ready. So maybe Marcus like wants to take control again, because maybe he understands, like in his rationale, his point of view, like that Morningstar is a real threat that needs to be addressed. And maybe a small part of that is maybe he actually cares about Dylan and doesn't want him to go down that life. Maybe there's like a little bit of comfort in that. You know what I'm saying?
One possibility, I was thinking maybe he let Morningstar go, and that's how we learned not to let people go and lock them up in the jewelry.
Oh, that would be
good. The issue did focus on letting people go or locking them up, and who knows, maybe he did that and he regrets it. You never know. That's one. I like your theory more. That sounds like a Crafts one, but I don't know. I think Ryan obviously probably has it planned out, and nothing's disappointed me in this series at all in 19 issues in. So whatever it is, I'm excited to see more Morningstar. I think that I want to see what the power set's like when Morningstar fights.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that's true. So, do you think Alienator will break out? Will break out of the spell and join Rogue Sun?
Possibly.
That would be really.
I think if anybody, maybe him or Demonica. They're the only two people I would see doing it. And Demonica, just because I feel like she's batshit crazy and would do such a thing.
And Cataclysm too, maybe like the only thing that can get like split up married couple and the son to fight together would be that. I think that'd be kind of cool. I can see them all fighting on the same page at some point too. I think a little rogues gallery of redeemed villains would be cool.
Love that.
Speaking of that, actually, that's a perfect segue, because we're looking at the solicit for the next issue, because we just concluded our review and analysis of issue 19. Here's Rogue Sun 20 with a gorgeous cover by Stefano Simeoni. And it says here, for the solicit, stretched to his limits, Rogue Sun encounters a mysterious new ally. But who is Divinity, and what dangerous secrets are buried in her past? Hype. For our first appearance, Divinity, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
There you go.
She's been mentioned before, right? But we've never seen her.
Yeah, she's mentioned in text. Yeah, but I don't think we've ever seen her. So unless she's one of the people teased in the 18
issue 1,
she was.
Yeah, she was. Okay, yeah. So maybe that was her cameo or first. Yeah,
she was at.
Anyways, very excited, guys. June 26th release date. That means we're talking a month from where it's May 24th today, the recording. So just a month away. So FOC should be either this week or the week after. Make sure you put your pre-orders in. Support Rogue Sun, guys. Let's keep this series going as much as possible. Let's support Ryan Parrott, Abel, Marco Renna, Natalia Marquez, Becca Carey, Mike Pursuto, everyone in the Massiveverse. Keep this awesome book going. And yeah, it's still $3.99. So I love that. Even when they do things like these, even when they do the so-called, like people call them gimmicks, if it was Marvel or DC, they would charge us more, 100%.
Yeah.
But
I think this was 38 pages. It's still bigger than a regular book, and it was still $3.99.
I want to walk back what I said too. If I came across as like not excited about this issue, or like I said, this might have been not my favorite of the gimmick issues, but like it's still pretty bulletproof. And I think that they used the gimmick so well in the storyline that it basically it felt natural. It felt like a really cool storytelling device, and it really helped this out. So yeah, this was a great issue actually. But
like it's not just a gimmick for a gimmick's sake, right? It serves the story. It all kind of works together.
Exactly.
Yep. Yeah. So we have this to look forward to, and as far as upcoming issues, we've got 21 with another gorgeous Stefano Simeone. We don't want to show people this list because I know they don't want to.
I hope they keep the back of the covers the same. I love those little black logos. Seeing what images are on the back every time.
We did get the quote.
I hope they keep that the same.
We got that quote at the end of this issue too, of like, if you can't take a punch, don't get in the ring, or something like that as well, which was cool. There's a lot of toughness in this. There's a little underlying, like, it's almost like, I don't know, not like Fight Club or something, but it's kind of cool how they have like just this lines about like the bar fight. Like, okay, that might win a bar fight, but that's not going to take a alienator. Like, it just shows his dad's been around, had a few fights. I don't know, I just like that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
agreed. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, the next issue is June 26th. Get your pre-orders in. I believe that's it for us in terms of this issue's review. What do we have to look forward to? Well, as we mentioned earlier, if you like the Rogue Sun, then make sure to check out the rest of the Massiveverse. There's just so much going on. We got Kyle 1964 bringing Kyle back, so that's that to look forward to. There's obviously Radiant Black. There's Rogue Sun. We've got
Infernals.
Infernals is a Massiveverse, but it's made by Massiveverse people, and it's damn good. So, I mean, if you like Rogue Sun, I feel like almost guaranteed you'll like Infernals, to be honest.
Deep Cuts. Been a lot of push for that recently, for sure.
Deep Cuts got nominated by the Eisners, guys. Best anthology. So let's hope that they win. Team Working Narrative, and a lot of the guys who worked on that issue, including like people like Juni Ba, Ramon Perez. I don't even remember Igor Monti, Danilo Beirut. There's so many.
Get your vote on.
Amazing. Joe Clark, of course. Yeah, so exactly. Tell people to get their votes in if they're professionals, and just social support to those creators. And pick up the trade, which is coming soon. Deep Cuts trade. I believe it's sometime in June. Maybe I'm mistaken, but it should be very soon.
So.
Kyle just showed it off. It looks gorgeous, and I'm gonna pick it up myself, even though I have the issues. I love that series so much. And the Radiant Black podcast. If you enjoyed the Massiveverse, first of all, if you enjoyed the Massiveverse, even if you just enjoy Rogue Sun, check out the Massiveverse. Check out Radiant Black. It's the closest thing I would say to Rogue Sun in the Massiveverse. It's damn good. More superhero, creator-owned superhero goodness. This time by Kyle Higgins and Marcelo Costa. More of a sci-fi take as opposed to supernatural, but chances are you'll probably enjoy it. And if you like that, check out the Radiant Black podcast. That's our second show, our main show, where we talk about the Massiveverse and Radiant Black and everything in between. And this is where we actually focus on Rogue Sun. So check that out. And anything else you guys want to add before we head on out?
We got more Infernals coverage coming up. We're covering those issues as well. So if you like this, you're probably going to like that. And Bash is so on the money with his coverage that he's actually like called the future when talking about the artists on there and what they're going to do.
John Pearson. Shout out to John Pearson. He was just on Constantine on Hellblazer. Right on.
So pretty accurate takes and really interesting info. So check out that Infernals pod. It's in the same feed as the Rogue Sun podcast, where we keep all our Ryan Parrott kind of related works. And I'm excited for that issue.
Yeah, that's right. Infernals 4. I mean, a week or two from today.
Yeah,
I think 2 weeks.
So we might be bi-monthly here for a little bit on the Rogue Sun pod.
Sweet. Yeah, someone told me it's bi-weekly recently. Like I don't even know anymore. I'm just saying it confused. It's all the same to me. So I'm just saying in case someone's out there like hitting the semantics button, like, God damn it, he said bi-monthly. But
when there's an issue out, we'll be out with it.
Right.
Yeah. To clarify, I'm just saying there might be a couple episodes of the Rogue Sun pod every month if both issues drop within a month.
Plus Infernals,
Ryan, we mentioned recently on Discord, like, it wouldn't be such a bad idea for John Pearson to get a Rogue Sun cover, and he agreed. Now, I don't see any variants for 21, 22, so hopefully in the future we get a John Pearson.
I think that guy's cover is going to take freaking a long time. That's going to be like issue 27.
We need Pearson because
goodness.
Pearson would be a good fit. because Marcus is his son is his peer as well. So we got the peer son,
Dude,
and let's go.
Oh my God. Dude, you know what would be actually really cool? Because they've done the Marco Renna and Abel thing, and it worked so well. It would be really cool if when we eventually get to Morningstar or a villain that's really cool, and they're just like if we just dedicate an entire issue to their origin, or even half issue, but like that whole half is done by John Pearson.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
That'd be
Especially if
insane.
it's in like hell. It would be so fitting. Like I'm assuming if Morningstar has like some sort of hell domain, and then they got John Pearson to do like the origins for just for that half issue, dude. Oh my God. John Pearson, like you've got fans, my friend. You've got some serious fans right here. We want to see more. But yeah, that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. Catch us next time. We'll bring you the next issue of Infernals, and then followed by the next issue of Rogue Sun, which is Rogue Sun 20. Anyway, we'll see you next time.
All right.
Rogue on, Rogue out.